Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction. If you are new here, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for hitting that bell. Much appreciated. If you're an old fan, you already know I love you so much. So thank you for coming back. As always, love you guys. But tonight we're gonna be taking a listen to New Reality. It just dropped. Is like past midnight. I should probably be asleep, but you boy had to do a reaction video for this new song. I did one for Nocturnal Future. So if you haven't seen that, check the links in the description. You can go watch that if you feel so inclined to. But wanted to do this. I've been waiting for a new The Word Alive track for a little bit. Been chatting it up with my boys Dan and Jose, and very excited for this new release. So wanted to do this, and also shout out to Telly for commenting on my last video. It really meant the world. I've been again following The Word Alive for God, I don't even know how long now at this point, and still on my bucket list. So if we can, if I can get you on the channel, I think I would have a heart attack. So if you could make that happen, everyone, that'd be sick. But anyway, let's get into New Reality. I'm excited to give this one a listen. So let's go.
Can you taste the fear in the back of my throat?
Okay.
And I'm shaking like a tremor face down on a bed.
Okay.
Welcome to your new reality.
Ooh.
Is it everything that you thought it would be? So baby, turn away. Is this what you wanted? Welcome to your new reality. Slam my palms, stare at the wall, screaming for help. Can you hear me at all? Can't shake the feeling.
All right.
It's too much. Checking my pulse, ice cold to the touch.
Ooh.
Watch now, watch now. There's no going back now. Welcome to your new reality.
Oh, that push from Dan.
Is it everything that you thought it would be? So baby, turn away. Is this what you wanted?
All right. All right. Oh. Let's go. Oh my God. Let's go. That's so hype, I lost my headphones.
So baby, turn away. Is this what you wanted? Welcome to your new reality. Is it everything that you thought it would be? So baby, turn away. Is this what you wanted?
Oh man, that was great. Okay, well, I thought we were gonna get more, so I was waiting for that moment. But guys, New Reality, that was so good. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I think I enjoyed, I think what they're doing here right now is just really interesting. I think there is definitely a lot of new blood in the band. I think there's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain because I feel like I've gone through so many like different iterations of what the word alive is, and I, not to say that I didn't listen to previous stuff. I believe I did a review of Monomania. I think I did a review of the one before that one. But I feel like for myself, like I kind of fell off the bandwagon for the Word Alive after, I would say, Dark Matter. I actually have a poster of Dark Matter when I went to see them with Fit for a King and Out Came the Wolves. That was ages ago. And I think the thing that continually makes me come back to the Word Alive is just the sheer fact that I just love Telly's voice. I think his voice is just like it just has this nostalgia to me. Like I feel like he's been a part of my life, and just the Word Alive has been a part of my life for God such a long time. And I don't want to sound like I'm shilling for him at all, but I mean, genuinely, like he was like probably one of the first couple bands that really got me into this metalcore and like post-hardcore music and stuff like that when I was a wee young kid, angsty kid, so I feel like I have that sort of bias already, because I just love his voice, his screaming, like it just rings nostalgia to me. And with these two new songs, I was, to be honest, as a fan, I hadn't been really into them as much as of previously. Like Monomania, I gave a listen because I wanted to I always try to give bands their due process. I think that just because maybe I don't like the album, maybe somebody else might like it, and that might show them some older albums that I grew up loving. And I think with these two new songs, they remind me so much of the past, but also I think they take a lot of cues from the more current albums that have been released from the Word Alive. And I know I drew the same comparison in Nocturnal Future, but I feel like even more so in a song like this. I would say there's definitely some screaming in this song, but I would argue most of the song is clean singing, which is really cool. And I think comparatively to Nocturnal Future, which I think is like 50-50, if my memory serves me correct, the song came out like 3 months ago, so I can barely remember what I ate yesterday for lunch. So but I feel like there's something about it that has this sort of like nostalgia to it, but also at the same point, I think it's just really interesting and unique stuff that I feel like it's untapped territory for the Word Alive. And I think it goes back to my first point that I made at the top of this review, was the fact that I think there's just this resurgence of new blood within the band. They added Jose, my boy, as well as Dan, my other good friend as well, and my boy. Like they are immensely talented individuals, and I don't know how much of an influence they had on the new writing here for this, but it's cool to see that they're doing it's cool to see that if that is the case, they're having that sort of impact on the new writing style. Same with Zach. I've been kind of riding with them as well too. Zach's like, again, an OG member of the Word Alive, certainly, and his guitar playing was like, and it still is. It's such a great inspiration to me, as well. And so I think what I draw from this band is just this sort of inspiration that you can change your style up, you can kind of change what you do, but there's always going to be those core fans that really appreciate what you did like like 12 years ago or more, to people who just found out about your band. And I think that there's this cool like level of respect that I think this band shows off, and I just absolutely have to give credit and love to that, because I hope that reflects in the type of music they make. And I really do feel like there's just a new feeling to this band that I can't even kind of can't put my fingers on. I think that it has some really cool heavy moments within this song. Like I think musically it's heavier, but I think like even like I think melody wise it's like drawing more from that sort of pop sort of sensibility. Like there's this like way that the melody flows within this song, I would argue is different, much different from Nocturnal Future, and I'd also argue as well much different from previous stuff that they've released. Like I think their attention to melody and their attention to how the song is structured out is a little, I would say with both these two new songs, have been the most expansive they've been in quite a bit. I think that this album is gonna take a lot of risks, and I don't like this is what I feel like they're setting up for. Like it almost seems like they're setting up for an album. But I think they're trying to hit like all of the different seasons of the Word Alive. You have some people that are the OG fans that have been there since, like um been there since Deceiver or before that. I believe it was Empires is the first album, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm gonna have to do my homework on that. But all the way back to those days. Then you have people that kind of hit in the middle with like Dark Matter and Real and all of those albums, and then have people that literally probably have found out about this band like today, honestly. And so they're really trying to cast a wide net, and I think in some cases that can be very difficult. But I think they are doing this with grace. Like there's something about it that if you're an old fan, I think you're gonna like this stuff. I think if you're a new fan and you just found out about them on like Sirius XM, because I know that got played earlier today on there, then you're gonna find you're gonna find that familiarity with what they do with that song, and I imagine very similarly with Nocturnal Future. So, I really do appreciate the time and intention that they have put into both these songs, and I hope that the album that I imagine is going to be coming out, I don't know 100% for certain, but it just seems like that's the case. I would hope that people kind of get that sort of thought process that I'm going through right now, which is the fact that they have kind of taken different elements of what been known to do and just kind of change it and shape it in a way that makes more sense for their fan base now, and I hope that older fans like myself that maybe have fell off the bandwagon to give them more of a listen. And I think to me, like I know how important and how special like the first couple Word Alive albums are to me, and I felt like since I obviously know Jose and both Daniel as well, I wanted to make sure that they could be supported in that way, and so for me it's cool to have those nostalgia glasses on for the old Word Alive, but also not feeling too distant from new Word Alive, and I can go and listen to this and be like, oh wow, they're pulling some elements from like older albums, and so that to me is a cool thing, and I think it's a testament to what they do, certainly. So, which is really awesome. And I think the other counterpoint I like to make on this is just like that chorus absolutely slaps. I think that's probably one of the best written Word Alive choruses in a little bit. Though I will say Life Cycles is a fantastic song. I just see it on my like YouTube playlist here, and I'm like, oh man, that's a good one. I forget how good that is. But yeah, I think they capitalize on hitting kind of the nostalgia in my head, but also I think that they're taking their sound into new territory, and I think this definitely has a level of catchiness that obviously ended up on Sirius XM. But I feel like that if you show this to somebody that maybe isn't as big of a fan to like metalcore music, I think you could very easily get away with showing this to somebody that is like more into the like alt music, because it definitely has some alt music vibes to it. But I think if you know the history of it, you get a little bit more out of it, certainly. So comparatively to Nocturnal Future, I think this one requires a little bit more listens, but I really do like it upon first listen. So definitely will be checking out whatever they have coming out next. I just feel so blessed that two of my good friends are in this sick band, and also that, again, Telly, big salutes. Thank you for commenting on my video. If you watch this one as well, that would be amazing. But that means a lot to me as a kid. I not to get all like sappy a little bit, but I literally have a photo on my phone of meeting Telly at a Warped Tour tent. I think it was there. It was actually the Word Alive tent, and I remember wearing an Audio Addiction shirt to like I think it was like one of the last Warped Tours to ever happen. And I think I also made this story as well in the other video. But I look at that photo and I think fondly of that moment where I'm pretty sure verbatim I said, I'm going to have you on my show, like just wait. And so hoping this year's the year. And honestly, it would be just checking another name off my bucket list, which is amazing. So, continued support to these guys. And I really have been digging, like, no joke, I've really been digging what these guys have been doing lately. So, very curious to see what the next steps are for the Word Alive. But guys, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on New Reality. Would love to know what you think. Do you feel the same way as me? Have you been, have you been a Word Alive fan for a long time and you have this sort of nostalgia to it? Or, are you a new fan of the band? Excuse me. Are you a new fan of the band and you just found out about them and this is the first song you checked out? I would love to know down in the comment section, so please go check it out if you feel so inclined to. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to share, like, subscribe. It goes a long way. I kind of continue to have great success over this year in 2023, and honestly, the types of videos that I make here I make very similarly across the rest of my channels. So if you want to be a part of the Audio Addiction fam, make sure to sub up. We welcome all here. So thank you for watching, thank you for checking it out, and please go give the Word of Life some love if you can. Would love for that to happen. And again, thanks to Thriller, as always. They're killing it right now, so big salutes. But guys, thanks for checking out the video. I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.